This is how you go stealth camping in style. Outside looks like a dingy old crappy trailer, right? Let's go inside. All right, let me cut the air off. So this is the cargo trailer that my wife and I converted into a camper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a very detailed tour. I'm going to show you everything in detail, how we did it, why we did it, all that kind of stuff. But just real quick, a brief overview. See the bed? We're going to scan around and you can see everything. And then there's the kitchen area, stove or oven, whatever, refrigerator. And then we have our bathroom, we have a toilet, water heater, we have a full shower, and everything in this camper, we can actually live off grid if we wanted to. Everything is sustainable, and or we can plug in at a campground. So let's look at some details, right? So let's start with the kitchen. This was actually cabinets that we bought at IKEA. And then for the countertop, it's just a piece of plywood that we put epoxy over the top of it. Then for our sink, we actually got a bucket. Come over here and look at this real quick. But this is just a bucket that we cut a hole out of the plywood, put it in there, and then epoxied around it. Regular sink faucet, and this has worked really good for us. Keep in mind, we've had this camper for about 7 years. Now, we've made some modifications over time, but this was one of the originals. So all of these cabinets up here are more cabinets that came from IKEA. They were just all these different little shapes, super cheap, but they have held up really well. We've had these for the whole time as well. And down here, our couch or sofa that we made, these are also cabinets that came from IKEA. And the cushion, all it is a piece of memory foam that we cut, and we stapled it to a piece of plywood, and it sits on top of the cabinet. And then behind the pillows, you can see it's just a piece of plywood as well that the pillows lean up against. So that's the sofa. You see we got a lot of storage in here. That was one thing that we learned, is that you really need a lot of storage. Just like over here on this side, we have, these are actually end tables that normally go beside a bed. And we brought these in for extra storage, and they look great as well. TV, DVD player, have a mirror over here. I'm going to show you real quick underneath the bed, because there's all of that down there is storage as well. And that's also where we keep all of our electrical components. So you can see we have an awful lot of storage under here. We got plenty of room to put a lot more stuff. This slides, we'll have more storage that goes in here. But down over here is where you see all of our electrical components, the battery, the inverter, the charge controller. And I'm going to make a video later showing how all of this goes together so that you can know how to put your electrical together. And then over here, we have our monitors for the inverter and the battery. So over here on this side, obviously, is, you know, where we're going to put a lot of storage, but we even have a door that I put in on the side so that you can come in from over there to, you know, to store things. And the bed, you can see we just put it on some hinges. And let's lower it real quick. And there's the bed. There's a picture my wife took when we were out at the Old Mill. So if you've never been to the Old Mill, you really need to go. It's an awesome place. But you do have to have four-wheel drive to get out there to it. So anyway, that was pretty cool. So let's go back over here to the kitchen area, and we'll look at some more things. So over here is our refrigerator and our oven, a little bit more storage. And we put this barn door on here so that it takes up less room. You don't have to worry about a door opening. In here is our toilet, composting toilet. I'll talk a little bit more about that in another video. But if you're building one of these, you definitely need a composting toilet. This is one of the best things we bought for this camper. Super easy to use, and we love it. And this is our water heater. So behind this water heater down here is a 15-gallon water tank. So we can actually hook up to water at a campground and use that water, Or if we're off grid, we can run water from this tank. There's a pump behind this and everything that pumps water for us into our shower. And then here in our shower, as you can see, we have a very nicely tiled shower floor. And then we have this, we used to have metal, just like we do on the ceiling. We had that same metal around the shower. We changed that out for this composite, or this, whatever it's called, this kind of composite. It's a roofing material, but it works really good as well. So we also added windows. We also added an air unit, and we also added a fan up top, because none of this was here in the original cargo trailer. This is like a 13,000 BTU air conditioner, which is more than enough to cool this little space. As a matter of fact, this is a 12-volt fan here, this roof fan. And as long as the temperature is not too hot outside, this will do really good at cooling down the inside. We actually put in this window. There was no door here before. So we put in this window, and then we also put in a house-style window above the sink. That way, you know, if we're parked at the house and my wife is cooking in here, she can look out the window and see the grass that she's got to cut later. So, so I hope that gives you an idea of everything that you can do by converting a camper. If you are considering doing it, you definitely should, because this thing is so much better than like an RV or like a, you know, like a travel trailer that you buy from the factory. At least in my opinion, it is. I mean, I'm sure other people have their own opinions, but yeah, it's not difficult once you get into it and start doing it. It is very time consuming, but it is so worth it. So if you're thinking about doing it, go for it.